Every story begins with a single choice, and this one might change how you see yours. In a quiet valley, surrounded by misty hills, lay a small village, a place where the rivers once sang, and the soil bloomed with color. But now, the river beds were dry, and the fields cracked like broken pottery. The people whispered that the land had lost its heart, and maybe they were right. Because deep within that valley lived a young woman named Gina. Her days were quiet now. The laughter that once filled her home had faded with the rain. Her father used to tell her, "The heart of the land burns in the heart of its people." But after years of drought and disappointment, that flame in her and everyone else had dimmed. One early morning, Gina walked down to what used to be the river. The ground beneath her sandals crunched like ash. She knelt, scooped a handful of dry soil, and whispered, "Even the earth is tired." Her friend Mara appeared beside her, carrying a small basket of wilted crops. "You should leave this place, Gina. Everyone else has." Gina looked up, her eyes calm but firm. "And go where, Mara? If everyone leaves, who will stay to remember what this land was?" Mara sighed, shaking her head. "You can't light a fire in rain-soaked wood." "Then I'll dry it with hope," Gina replied softly. Days passed. Gina tried planting again. Maize, beans, anything that could cling to life, but the soil was rocky and unyielding. She spent hours under the hot sun, her dress stained with dust and her hands blistered. Her mother would watch from the doorway, whispering prayers she no longer believed would be answered. That night, as the wind howled through the empty valley, Gina sat alone in her room. She lit a candle, its small flame dancing weakly. "If you can burn even here," she murmured to it, "then maybe I can too." And with that thought, she decided something small but fierce. She would not let the flame die. The next morning, dark clouds gathered over the hills. It wasn't raining, not yet, but it was a sign. Gina began teaching the village children to place jars beneath rooftops and along the narrow paths to catch even the smallest drops of rain. The villagers laughed at first. What can jars do without rain? But Gina smiled. When hope prepares, heaven responds. Soon, other families joined her. They lined rooftops with jars, repaired broken gutters, and cleared the paths where the first drops might fall. Days later, when the rain finally came, it fell in thin silver threads, gentle, hesitant, as if testing the earth's memory. Gina ran outside, her dress clinging to her skin, her hair damp, her laughter rising like the rain itself. Quickly, she shouted to the children, "Bring the jars." They gathered beneath the eaves, placing jars carefully, their hands raised to the sky as water splashed and sparkled. Within weeks, tiny green shoots began to appear where Gina had planted. The once grey fields shimmered with new life. People who had left began to return, drawn by whispers of a woman who believed when no one else did. They started calling her the keeper of the heart flame. When Mara returned and saw the land blooming again, she asked softly. "How did you do it, Gina?" Gina smiled, brushing soil from her hands. "The river didn't die, Mara. It was waiting for someone to remember its name." Months later, during the village's first harvest in years, Gina stood on the hill overlooking the valley. The fields glowed golden under the sun. Children ran between stalks of corn, laughter echoing again. She thought of her father's words, "The heart of the land burns in the heart of its people." She realized then that the heart flame wasn't a legend or a gift from the gods. It was something human. The courage to believe again when everything else told you not to. When travelers passed through the village years later, they would hear stories about Gina, the woman who reignited the heart of the valley. They would say, "Her faith burned so brightly, even the heavens came closer to feel its warmth." And in every home, a small clay lantern burned each night, a tribute to her spirit. Because the heart flame wasn't just a fire, it was a way of living, a reminder that even in the darkest drought, hope is never truly gone, only waiting for someone brave enough to strike the match again. When your world feels cold and empty, remember, your heart can still burn bright. One spark of faith can warm 1,000 souls. Thank you for joining us in this episode of Wealth Stories with Amma. Remember, the wealth of your life starts with the thoughts you nurture. Feed your mind well and watch your world bloom. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to Wealth Stories with Amma for more powerful stories and timeless lessons that can shape your financial and personal future. Because remember, stories change how we think, and how we think changes how we live. Bye for now.